Welcome to episode 401 of Casting Actors Cast. Wow, 3 digits starting with a 4. That's not just a podcast. That's a whole archive, a resource, a library of love and practical tools for actors around the world. And I am thrilled, honored, and deeply grateful that you are here for me for this milestone moment. This is Casting Actors Cast.
Casting Actors Cast, what a show! With Jeffrey Dreisbach, we're ready to go. From agents to gigs, learn what you like. Tune in every week, we're bringing you back.
Here he is, your host, Jeffrey Dreisbach.
You've done more auditions than a casting director has said, thanks, we'll be in touch. It's time you got serious and learned acting strategies, audition secrets, and tips to grow. Get the Actor's Playbook for Getting Cast. Booked It by Jeffrey Dreisbach. Available right now. Also introducing Next Level Auditions, the online video course. Why not get both? Call it the Ultimate Audition Toolkit. You won't find these on sale because they're worth every penny. If you're serious about your acting career, this is your next step. This is your moment. Let's make it count. CastingActorsCast.com. Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of Casting Actors Cast. Oh my gosh, 400 episodes. Wow. Some people can't even commit to a gym membership for 4 weeks. And you and I have been meeting here since 2020 through lockdowns, through self-tape explosions, through new technology disrupting our industry faster than we can say AI voice clone. We have been learning together, laughing together, and building the kind of creative courage that keeps actors moving forward. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is that moment of the episode where I simply get to say thank you for tuning in. I invite you to check out the website, castingactorscast.com. There's a book, there's a course, there's all kinds of really cool stuff available. There's also Jeff's Jots. That's a place where you can download PDF of the episodes so that you actually have something tangible in your hand to follow along, especially if there's an episode that is dense, has a lot of content to it that you would really like to have in your hand as sort of a breakdown, if you will. All right. That's enough of all of that. My good friends at Actors Connection are still going at it. It's been an amazing journey with Actors Connection, and I continue to be so grateful to the Broadway Podcast Network for sponsoring the podcast. So today's show is a little bit different. It isn't about a new technique, or we're not going to be talking about or giving you a tough love lecture. See, today is a celebration. Today is a reflection. Today is a thank you to you for being the kind of artist who keeps showing up. Because I can tell you this podcast exists for a reason, and it's to give actors real tools that actually make a difference. And we've covered so much that now is the perfect time to look back at the highlights and help you revisit topics that might hit even deeper the second time around. So let's start at the beginning. Back in 2020, when we were still staring into laptop cameras like confused news reporters broadcasting live from their bedrooms, this show launched with a simple purpose: to offer clarity and support when the industry felt like the wild, wild west of Zoom. And you stuck with me while we figured it out. We tackled the audition revolution, self-tapes, becoming the norm, and means for your process and your mindset. We've dedicated episodes to breaking down things like slating, eye lines, reader engagement, even dealing with the dog barking next door because your neighbor suddenly decided that today was lawn care day. We've talked about agent relationships, how to communicate with reps, how to get one, how not to burn bridges by sending 42 follow-up emails about the same co-star audition. We've talked mindset. Oh boy, have we talked mindset. We dove into imposter syndrome, confidence building, emotional resilience, the nights and the days of an actor's journey. And if you're still feeling a little stuck today, those early mindset episodes still hold gold. Go back, refill the tank. Remember when we talked about the currency of gratitude? How showing up with appreciation for the people who work behind the scene is actually a superpower? Yeah, and guess what? That one still matters. We've laughed together about weird audition stories. The time someone brought a live snake into the room. The person who tried to cry by putting chapstick in their eyes. Yeah, I don't recommend that you do that technique. But we learn from everything, right? Then we expanded. We moved into industry-specific tools. What casting directors actually see in the room. What makes a performance stick? What makes a performance fall flat? Why simplicity is so powerful. Why presence beats perfection. Every single time. We've explored the business side of the business, packaging your materials, shaping your career vision, understanding your brand without trapping your soul in a tiny box. We found ways for you to market yourself as a storyteller, not a product. And of course, we explored the heart of acting: connection, curiosity, vulnerability, humanity. You know what? It's so amazing. Some of you have actually been with me since episode 1. Some found the show last week. But guess what? You're here. And because you're here, we get to keep building something meaningful together. So let me give you a handful of episodes that I think are worth revisiting, episodes that could meet you right where you are today and give you exactly the spark you might need. I would like you to visit or revisit the episode on acting momentum. Work begets work. Because sometimes the hardest job is just to keep going, especially when you feel like the world paused, but your ambition didn't. Revisit specificity, the actor's secret weapon. When you feel like you're giving 75% general energy and not 100% personal truth. Specificity is where performances become unforgettable. Revisit your acting career called and wants you to relax. Because the anxiety tornado just doesn't actually help anyone. Ease is freedom. Freedom is confidence. Confidence books. Revisit the confidence gap. If you've forgotten how much you actually bring to the table, confidence doesn't come from booking. It comes from trusting your ability to bring you to the table. Revisit the self-tape trap. When you feel like you're decorating instead of storytelling, revisit audition recovery episodes. Because not booking is not failure. Not trying is. And definitely revisit the episodes where I share stories from casting. Those are the moments where you get a peek behind the curtain, where you hear what rooms really feel like, what choices make us lean forward, what choices make us check the clock. Listen, if you've made it this far with me, you've invested in yourself. You show up every week because something inside you refuses to give up. You want to tell stories. You want to make people feel. You want to contribute your artistry to the world that desperately needs meaning and empathy and laughter and hope. And every episode of this podcast, all 400 of them, are here for you. They're not one-time listens. They're tools in a toolbox, a resource for every chapter of your career. Let me also celebrate something else. You have grown. You are not the same actor who showed up in 2020, or even the same actor who pressed play 5 episodes ago. Every time you listen, something shifts. Every time you try a new approach, something strengthens. Every time you choose courage over fear, something expands inside you. This podcast has been a joyful constant in my life because of you, your messages, your questions, your success stories. Boy, they keep me inspired to provide more. They remind me why I started this in the first place. Actors deserve to feel powerful in their own careers. So here's your call to action. If an episode from the past helped you, go back and listen again. Let it hit you differently this time. Absorb the lessons you were too overwhelmed to hear last time. And if there's a topic you want me to explore, a problem that's confusing, a hurdle that's in your way, email me. Yeah, reach out. Your voice shapes this show. I want to hear from the actors I serve. Contact me through castingactorscast.com. Share your challenges, your wins, your curiosity. Your questions might be the next 25-minute episode that inspires someone else. You have no idea how your need could help someone you haven't even met. This community of actors, you, are the heartbeat of this show. And as long as you keep tuning in, I will keep showing up with everything I've got to help you succeed. So here's to the next 400. Here's to growing. Here's to believing. Here's to new levels of preparation, performance, and possibilities. But most importantly, here's to you, the artist, brave enough to keep trying. I am so grateful for you. I'm cheering for you, and I cannot wait for what's coming next. Prepare smarter, act better, book more. I'm Jeffrey Dreisbach, celebrating 401 episodes now of Casting Actors Cast, and I can't wait to see you back here next week. Thanks again for tuning in, and congratulations to all of us.
It's been great having you in our talent pool today. Your support means the world to us, so please consider sharing, liking, and reviewing this episode wherever you jump in. I'm Megan Grace Martinez. Thanks.
From